Greetings everybody and happy new Chinese year. It is the year of the fire rooster and I'm Polina, your crazy astrology lady, reporting to you about what this might mean and how we're all going and what to do and what to take advantage of during 2017. Well, the first thing I'm going to say is this. I don't believe that the new year starts here. I don't believe it has started in January. I feel definitely that the new year is indeed on the equinox. As the ancients have celebrated it, I feel it is definitely on the 21st of March as the Persian New Year commences. And that's the beginning of Aries and the beginning of our energetic uplifting. It feels like a new year. It is the new year. It is conscious. It's a new beginning. There's definitely an ending in February and March, and a new expression coming through on the 21st of March. So that's why I'm not going to do all the signs and everything like that till then, but because this is very much in ancient tradition, I will definitely do the Chinese New Year now for the 28th of January. And though I don't believe it's the new year, I do believe there's definitely an energy change here, which feels good. It feels a lot more better and a lot cleaner and much more worthy to mention than the Western New Year on the 1st of January. I don't believe that the 1st of January was the new year. I just feel it's a number. So anyway, let's talk about the Chinese New Year. Okay, so we are stepping out of monkey and we are going into rooster, fire rooster nonetheless. And this frequency is not what you need perhaps at first, but it is. It's not perhaps what you feel is good, but it is. It's not the best idea at first, but it is. It is the frequency of energy that has to be right. A frequency that has to get to the bottom of things. And if you do imagine yourself as a rooster sometimes, which is probably why it's so helpful having these things around the house, just as a nice reminder. If you imagine yourself as a rooster sometimes clawing at the ground and picking at the dirt, trying to get all the worms and all the bugs, that's best. Why is that? Because this is the overall frequency of fire rooster indeed. Going through, having a really good look, having a really nice researcher's mind that's fiery, optimistic, passionate, and intense. It's a very, very, very loyal energy. It's a very, very, very optimistic, almost like a warrior's vibration, but without the war. It is a stating of the big ideas. It is the getting out of the best frequencies. It is the like the balloons in the air and the candy and beautiful streamers and things like that. It is the expansion and the expelling out of your depths, something that's very, 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 very beautiful and something that's been sitting there for a long time not knowing how to come out. It is the beginning of a new adventure for you, maybe, as it is for me. Perhaps for many of us, it is the expansion through laughter. It's the expansion through joy and predictability. But it becomes our new grid eventually by January 2018. Depends on how you go. You'll definitely find, you would have definitely have found something that is pure to you, something that is pure and something that you can associate and definitely resonate with within yourself. It is like becoming the more vibrant human. It is becoming the more passionate person. It is becoming the most humorous one in the group. And it's knowing how to hold your head up high, how to stand still but yet radiate and resonate through space and time. This is not to do with work or money. This is not really to do with purpose. It's more to do with the resonance and the frequency of fearlessness, just standing in the face of danger or standing in the face of the odds and looking it straight in the eyes and saying, I'm good, I'm good here, I'm good, I belong. It's the most magical energy if you can use it well, an advantage to you and the greater being within your family. So for example, when your family looks at you, perhaps by the end of this year, if you've never noticed this about your family before, they'll be proud of you and they'll carry you with pride, and there will be a resonance throughout your life of pride and privilege. So basically, don't use this year as a way to go up to the top, because a rooster can't fly. A rooster can't fly. Now, if you were a dragon or tiger or maybe even snake, we could dream up a new reality. We could dream up something new. But the rooster is a kept farm animal. Okay, don't forget that. The rooster is a farmed animal. It's a beautiful, beautiful time to really have a look. Count yourself as a chicken. Don't count yourself as the boss yet. Find how you are fitting in within community. Find how you are fitting in within the community where you belong. And this is perhaps a little bit hard for us to understand now as we're becoming highly verbal and highly expanded through the online media. And we feel that everybody's a friend, but this is not really about everybody. As the rooster, the fire rooster, burns people and gets into funny ruts and situations when he's trying to be on top of everything. Basically, the rooster must only be on top of his own henhouse. So when you are looking at your family, looking at your life, it's a really fantastic year to have a look at what your dad was proud of, what your mum was into, and what your timeline is, and how you've come to be this way, and joining it all together into one epic conscious grid, like becoming a little bit awake to the way that you are with your family, awake to the way that you are with your ancestors and the land on which you were born, or the emotion or the frequency in which you were born. If you are born elsewhere in a different part of the planet, even though you might be of an ethnicity that, say, belongs in a different part of the planet, say you're an Indian but you were born in America, it's still good. It's still good. It's about using the frequency of the land where you were born, the family, and the family timelines back to the motherland, as to finding out your greater essence and your greater guruship over your life. In any sense, this is a weirdly practical year. It's a practical year when it comes to rapture. I mean, it sounds weird, but the rapture and the glory and the awful maybe timing of you wanting to scream out at the top of your lungs what you mean is actually really opportune. Say, for example, you grab somebody by the hand, you never wanted to tell them how much you love them, and then you do. Within minutes, within hours, the story escalates and you become a completely different person really quickly. But the meaning behind this is this: you are cleansing yourself out, you are learning how to expand and how to really crawl like a rooster, how to yell out, how to tell people what's up. And it must be in a moment as if Mars and the sun or Mars and the moon are pushing you towards doing it. Come on, you should do it. And you must. And this has to be a very, very, very personal journey too, because a rooster, like a journey of the heart, it has to be within as well. It has to be within and it has to be still, and there's parts of it that have to be completely silent in order for the vibration as you are vibrating out to be heard. If you can imagine the rooster, it can't crow in a night. So like when you are in a night of yourself, when you're on dream time, when you are sitting alone and when you are sad, don't pick up the phone and text your ex, okay? Don't call up that person that you really like and tell them you like them in desperate need. When that comes, you should really be wary of it and keep control of it. And this is for every sign. When there is a night and you feel like it's dark and there's no way out, like, oh my gosh, I'm sick, or I can't sleep at night, especially if you can't sleep at night, especially if you can't go with the nature patterns, like say your night is your day is your night. You know, you're sorry, but you're doing your work. You feel you're bad, but you're still, committing to something. As me a little bit, sometimes I do this quite a lot. So really, really take care of your patterns, because the rooster needs to be immobile sometimes. It needs to be in a place of depth, in a place of sleep. Really take your time. If you're not sure, don't say anything. If you are not hearing yourself feel anything, don't expand it. If you are not sure whether you're right or wrong, don't go around pushing out people's buttons, because the fire in you most likely will make you do that. Another thing to note about this year is that many people will not push on the right buttons. And that's because we are not really taught to feel from the heart. We are not really taught to really understand when this energy is pushing through, or when it's the lull, and when the silence is quite well as a silence. And how come sometimes we can't see that this person or this unity is for us? And why is it sometimes we are pushing and clawing at something that's not? I mean, if you can imagine the rooster that claws at the dirt, that's stone. And there's nothing there to find. So we have to know when to claw, when to find, when to crawl, and when to not. It's basically when we are developing inwards, and keep an eye on the following months, because I'll start posting the Chinese zodiac signs again. When we are learning, we should be very, very open to mistake, and we must be very, very knowing that occasionally we'll craw or we'll yell out something that's not true. And perhaps it feels true inside us, but it's not the global, the universal truth. And we must be as if, how can I say, the placid sides of us must be easy enough to surrender. When you're being told off, when we're being told, like, this is not the time, or like, I'm sorry, I can't talk to you right now, we need to surrender quickly. So we have to learn this balance between the passion and the expansion for our hearts, and also the way in which we can also stop, step back, and surrender. So where you come out and where you go in, where you know that you've made the wrong step and when you realize it was the right step. What is the tact? The tact through this barrier of yourself, because we are at the barrier of the heart at the moment, which we are expanding through our joy. This other thing that I'd like to mention is monetary gain, physical possessions, and also humiliation. They all come in together. We can't sometimes put everything right, because occasionally during these kind of shifts, as we are in this rooster that's of fire, we can't sometimes hold on to things for too long. We cannot sometimes make the money or the commitment to make it and then not see the afterlight of it. For example, you can make a lot of money and purity and hard work, and then, for example, you might get a huge bill and suddenly you got $3,000 or $4,000 to scoop out. You might be able to, say, generate a lot of income very, very quickly, and you feel like you're off. And then perhaps you see that your mum is not well and you've got to make a lot of time and effort, and you've got to stop what you're doing and you've got to spend your time entirely differently. That's an art of itself. That's an art in its form. You have to sort of find the time to really sit down and have a look at how you are doing with physical things, what it is that you'd like to give away, what it is that you'd like to leave behind now, before the beginning of the Chinese New Year. It would be very, very perfect and profitable for you guys to have a look at your cupboards and see what you can lose before the year begins. That's something that I've done, and that's something that I've done as an inertia, and I had no idea why I was doing that. I've given away everything, all my things, even things like of great value that I had, in order to be free. This is perfect time to do that in January, even early February. If you can give away and take out, get out of your system all losses now, because basically during this 2017 transit of Rooster, you might actually feel that these things are suspicious. You might actually feel that this energy is holding you back. It's disempowering. So without any further ado, I'd like to also recommend for you to invest money in things that are real, and that's to do with vocal energy, anything that helps you vocalize, anything that helps you get it out, get it going. If you want to invest money in the reading with me, you can, but also another type of thing, like another type of reading, for example, your own body reading itself. If you go out dancing, or if you go out exploring or exhibiting yourself in some way, exhibition of self is something that's very important, and it's not cruel and it's not wrong to be one at the top of the game. It's fine to be the one at the best energy that you can fathom in front of people, showing yourself off. For most of us, maybe it's going to be a little time that we get into it, but many of us are ready to be on stage now. We are ready to be out there crowing already. If your heart is gushing, and if you are pushing your own buttons without needing anybody else to bounce with, you are ready and you are fine. If you can experience dance, experience eroticism, experience vocal orgasms, experience vocal coaching, experience any kind of vocalization, Go to a institute where people can yell and scream. Go to some kind of a place where you're allowed to maybe yell out, but don't indulge in it too much. Don't make it your medicine, because it's just a starting point. We have to start screaming, and we've got to start teaching, because Rooster is actually a hidden guru. It's a hidden prophet, as well as the eccentric and as well as the mindless person. So what you are doing now, if you are looking inwards, if you are counting money, if you are thinking inwards, that's not going to be good for everyone. So I'm talking about January. If you are thinking inwards, it's not so good. If you are living it up, this is the collective January. If you're living it up and you're thinking about how can I rid, how can I just give, how can I just be myself now, it's good. If you are looking towards another person during January, it's easy. It's very easy to have another person there, but at the same time, we need to start looking inside and generate the treasure, or feel the crystals inside. Feel as if we are full of light, and feel as if we are starting to become somebody whole inside, somebody who's a treasure to hold. If you can, during January, this is for collective people, this is for everyone, laugh at your own jokes alone, and give yourself the feeling that you are actually a walking crystal, or you are a walking catalyst of joy inside. Don't wait for anybody else to bounce with you, just have it as an internal experience. Secondly, with February, so second month, Western zodiac. In February, I feel people will find an experience that makes them stop and maybe drop down to their knees. They might find something that they feel really almost like predictable in. They might find a pattern that they're like, I am not beyond this yet. I can't stop this. I've got, say, an addiction, or I've got an affliction. There is a definite falling down to the knees as I'm looking at February and looking into the dirt, as if actually a rooster's found a worm in the dirt and it wants to have a look if it's worthy of itself, if I'm thinking about it visually as a rooster. But visually I get a feeling that people are dropping down to their knees and they're looking at the dirt and they feel, I am beyond this. That's a general energy. And March, I feel the experience of life becomes clear. Something is like a clean energy, as if I'm seeing liquid air, if you could imagine that. A liquid air, something's cooling, something, oh, that's better. There's like amalgamation of optimum health and joy, if you want it. It's just about knowing that you're free and accepting and allowing this cooling sensation of the moon and the sun to wash over you in March. April, I'm feeling, is a very godly time, and it's something that is becoming stone or is becoming set in marble. And April, I'm feeling there is like a great clean energy. It's like a clean slate into the big forever. And I'm also feeling that in April, when it turns into May, in May, we are going to really find the Godhead within. There is definitely a few people that have, but there's going to be a collective need to start feeling or start thinking as if you are all things including God, not thinking that I'm not worthy, I'm not this, I'm not that. And Rooster's really helping us to know how to do that. So in May, there is a great Godhead experience. In June, we are smiling and subduing ourselves. We're finding the small things fascinating. We are again looking at the children. We are again looking at the simple parts of nature, simple parts of our own design. We are laughing and we're smiling, and we are looking to ourselves as if an adult is looking to a child, and also as a child looking up to an adult. There's a really nice joy there. In July, we are freeing. We are freeing, we are breaking the bonds of forever. We are breaking the boundaries that we've created. In July, we are coming free and coming loose. In August, generally, I'll say July. In July, very nice time for new resolutions, very nice time to shake off old collective thoughts, very good time to get over breakups, very good time to start exercising and unifying yourself within you without anything that you have. The mortgage, the wife, the husband, the people, the kids even. In July, you are strong. In August, however, we are looking at things as a huge field. I'm seeing a huge field in front of me, and all the grass is soft and it's like the soft, moist feeling of a fertile earth. So basically in August, you are at the beginning of yourself, and you can see the fertile earth in which you can find all the worms and the grubs as if you were a chicken. But it's also this feeling of forever looking back at you with abundance and a joy. And it's really, really hard, because for most of us to see joy and abundance as an expression of source that's natural and easy, it's hard. So what do you do? Well, it would be really, really nice to see you guys in August, to just feel as if Earth is looking at you with great abundant energy. And I can even smell the earth, like this fertile soil that's ready for anything, and it's absolutely full of surprises. So August, definitely smell the air, feel the breeze, feel it crawling on your skin, feel everything to you turn and give to you something new. In September, however, things dry up really fast if you don't take anything in August. If you think, I can't take this, I don't believe it. So in September, whatever opportunities that have passed you by in August will return or reveal themselves as new or old, but things change and shift. So you got to be fast in August, because in September I'm feeling there's a shape shifting occurring, and I'm feeling and seeing like space and time, and all these shapes that are shape shifting into different dimensions. So basically for September, don't take things at face value. See the multitude of life, see the joy and the humor of reality. So you might fall over, that's fine. You might have somebody give you something, but then take it back, it's fine. You might have somebody make you a promise earlier in the year, and then it disintegrates, it's fine. In September, just watch it, and without passion. This was this, now it's this, now it's this, now it's this, now it's this. It's never going to have its final form until you understand that everything that shifts and changes is just a dance of life. And usually Rooster as an energy cannot commit to change because it's hard, so it tries to vulnerabilize itself through the gesture of the crow. Because it cannot really possess enough optimism sometimes within itself to accept that change is coming and it's imminent, and there's no way out of it. So basically, when you're here in September, know that this change that's occurring now, it's not as if it's going to betray you. It's just going to shapeshift into another dimension, which will eventually always give more. In October, don't laugh. In October, don't laugh because people will pursue you. You might actually have chances come at you that you don't any longer need, because in September we have done something different, and we've actually dislocated and reconnected in a way that is not the same ever. And then in October we might laugh. We might actually laugh at the things that are coming at us and coming towards us, and the joy that people want to give us. We become greedy for something else. We become greedy for our own ambition and our own self-mastery. So sometimes somebody might offer you something and you might just laugh them off. It's not okay. So basically, to do well in October, actually to do well in August is to do well in October. So the more you reap in August, the less likely you are being cynical in October. So take your time, find your feet, and just smile. People come to you and you might not really want to heal them. You might not want to hug them. You might not want to be with them. You might stand like this, but you have to smile. You have to be polite. So in October, all the things that are polite, all the things that are put together right, all the things that are directed really, really, really well are going to bring you more. So October, really take your time and really take your steps wisely and know how to greet and how to meet. Traditional cultural things are good. Traditional languages are great. Anything of tradition, anything of traditional song and dance, amazing, just to greet in the new Jupiterian project, new Jupiterian energy, as well as it swings into Scorpio then. Anything else to know about October? Don't fuss around. Don't fuss around if you don't feel the fuss. Just be still and be practical. In November, things aren't I'll say another thing about October. Sorry, it's not letting me go yet. October, due to certain circumstances that might be happening with me and a few different other people, we may not feel the need to be there for them. We might not feel the need to finally commit to something. We might not feel the need to finally be the person that shows their face. But it's a very, very good time in October to be there. Be there. You don't have to be in detriment. Just take a few months, say for example for your mom, or take maybe a few weeks for your kids. You know, take a few times off your work. If you say a working parent, you got 2 kids and one of them is sick, you've got to really be careful in October and take your time with consideration of the big picture of your family and of the big picture of your inner structures. In November, it's not a good time to scream and laugh and run around like a crazy, but you will, because we've got the Jupiterian thing, we've got things shifting. In November, I'm seeing people doing this and going, ah, and running around crazy, running around naked, running around weird. There's a lot of syndrome in November that we don't think is syndrome in our modern society. There's a lot of maybe new bands coming out, or there's like a big gig and everybody's running to the gig, everybody's running each way, and they want to express and expand through sexuality, through immortality, through a feeling of forever, through a feeling of eternal youth. But during this time, we've got a little question in the air, and the big question that November passes to you is, there is no choice. You think? There's no choice, you think? What I mean is, your body and your mind, you'll just plump yourself full of testosterone or estrogen. There'll be something, I feel, in November for all of us. It's a bit like a party animal. We want to get out, we want to feel, we want to have sex with a stranger, and we want to do all these crazy things. But in November, I'd really offer you guys not to do that. That's because basically the nature of you is actually forming itself inwardly this time. And you might think I'm the biggest party pooper ever, as per usual, but take this time in November to have an internal joy, an internal journey, because otherwise November brings you nothing. It's like you just spend all your pheromones, you spend all your hormones, you spend all your sex on something else, and then eventually you'll come back to yourself and you'll have nothing. So during November, be very, very careful and patient with yourself. If you're feeling something, pull it into something else. For example, we have a lot of sexual strength and energy. Go work out, pull it into the earth. That's best, because we are in fire rooster, gardening, taking out the weeds, anything else in November. If you're picking apples, if you're doing something in the southern hemisphere, that's good. If you are making something for your child, that's amazing. Say, for example, you've got wood and you're like a really good worksman and you're putting a lot of energy into your house, into your family, into the stability. That's kind of key for this year. Family ties, union with God through the celestial realms, but using your DNA to get there. Tribal songs, ancestral journeys, that kind of thing. And if you can, drumming in November. Say you got a lot of zest, you got a lot of vigor, you think I'm going to put on this little dress and go out and shake my butt. No. Okay, use that as a primal energy that feeds your children and catalyzes the biggest energy in your body and in your family, in your mind, everywhere. And November will give you more if you invest the seed into the right energy. Say if you are a man and you are thinking, I'm going to get a few women, don't do that. Just invest yourself into one person and then you'll get more. That comes as a surprise, definitely, to many people that are wanting to make something new and take that shot, because you might actually find a surprise. Say you've been working towards something in November and then suddenly in December you're like, oh, hang on. In November, there's a resolution that December brings to a closure. There's something that's happening in us in December, as we are like, hang on, leave me alone, have a look at the blueprints. It's like you're looking at the scattering of different energies, and you're like, okay, here I am, which one? Like, which country in the world am I going to? Okay, this is it, this is the end. Like, this is the end in December 2017. We are looking at multiplicity of life, and we're looking that it's all rushing around and it's right in front of us. And we have to be patient, but we've got to pick the right choice. Like, okay, I've got all these jobs on offer. Like, I'm thinking about going to a new school next year. I'm thinking about something, and you are looking at multiplicity, and you have to be patient. Now, if you don't use November correctly, if you splash it all out, you don't have the psychic talents to really know exactly what's right for you, or the emotional intelligence that really helps you choose the right choice in December. So basically, use November right, don't scatter yourself, and then in December you come to this big plate of food, this big plate of information, and you know exactly what you need, when you need it, how you need it, and why. And this is because January comes to the big conclusion of you, what you wanted to do for your ancestral lines, what you wanted to do since you've come here, what you remember of yourself as a child, what all of this means, how the earth moves, what the whole galactic story is about with you in it. What is the choice? What is the choice? And what is the big, I want to say big yellow dream for some reason. Maybe because, I don't know why I want to say yellow dream, maybe because we're going to dog that next year. It's the big yelp, it's the big giant conclusion, and the howl of the dog. You know, it's the big emotive energy that comes through you and says, I feel, and energize through that. Because when you are in January, if you haven't been looking at your parents, if you haven't been concluding for your family lines, if you haven't been taking advantage of the situation, in January, most of us, especially if we spend the Western New Year as a new year and we go on and given ourselves away for Christmas as a present, if we are not together within ourselves, if we are not in the shaman journey by December, in January we don't have anything. We just come out, we go, oh, that was interesting, new year, okay? So basically take into consideration, especially as November starts rolling, August is the first big push, and then November starts rolling in 2017, then you'll find yourself at the peak of your performance in January. Especially if you don't celebrate Christmas and New Year's, just letting you know. But like, you will find yourself kind of feeling out like the sculpted energy, the sculpted message that you bring into this world with pride and maybe some ego, but also zest and vitality and everything that you are as a human. Anyway, this is a very nice time as we are at the beginning of the Eastern New Year, to start feeling people, to start feeling and being a little bit neurotic and not afraid of the neurosis, because that brings you genius. Every genius in the world is a neurotic person. There is no such thing as a somber, well-to-do genius, even if they look like that on the inside to themselves. There's always something that is a neurosis. There is like, if you can imagine the fire within, or it looks like electricity to me, but it's not. It's like the fire within that makes a person slightly possessed with an energy, which makes them push on through into the next frontier. So basically for you, my friends, keep that in mind. Genius is not something that comes in easy. It has to be a process and a feeling of the soul. And this year, I do hope you find your best potential yet. Happy Year of the Rooster, everybody, and I'll see you next time.